You're welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Onyechi Evangeline Chioma, and in today's tutorial I'll be learning how to make this masterpiece, the sewing tutorials. So this particular design was made by Precious April and we are recreating it. So stay tuned. If you find it helpful, give it a thumbs up, and if you have any question, don't hesitate to let me know. And without wasting much time, let's dive into the tutorials. So if you've not watched the pattern drafting of this particular training, I'll leave it in the description box so you can watch. And if you have any question, don't hesitate to let me know. Then if you find this tutorials helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Okay, so this is the center front. As you can see, I went ahead to cut it out exactly the same way, and I kept this place on fold, as you can see, and went ahead to give 1/2 inch allowance all the way around. Then once I'm done with that, I went ahead to put wadding inside. This is a light wadding inside to make it a bit strong. Then I have the lining, and I added interfacing to it as well. Okay, then for this other one, I cut this one into 4, 2 for the lining and 2 for the fabric. 2 layers with wadding, the other 2 layers has a stay. The same goes with this one. So this is it for the front part. Then the corset part. All right, so for the bustier, I have my pattern here cut out. I folded it into 2 to cut out this particular one. Then I have the lining and the main fabric. The main fabric, I added interfacing to it and added wadding to the bust side because I'm going to be caging this upside. Okay, so that is it. Then this one, I did the same thing, added interfacing from under bust up to the armpit side. So that is what I have here. Then it's cut into 4, just like the corset, 1 for the main fabric and 1 for the lining. This will be for the lining, 2 for the main fabric and 2 for the lining. Okay, then this one, the side front, is cut into 4. I added stay to it as well. Then that is it for the front. Then for the back, so for the back piece, I have the side back and I added interfacing to it. I cut it out in 4, 2 for the front and 2 for the lining. The middle back, the same thing. Then the center back, because I'm going to be adding eyelets to it, I had to add wadding to the fabric so that it will give it a bit of strength. Okay, so we have 4 pieces cut out. So without wasting much time, let's dive to the sewing process. So to start with, I have this corset part, and I'm going to start joining the fabric, after which I'll join the lining. So this is my main fabric, the main piece. So I'm going to join it this way. Then this particular one, I'm going to take it to the side and join. So after that, I'm going to join the lining exactly the same way. So after stitching, this is what you should have. Go ahead and flat iron the seam allowance and everything. So once you're done ironing, this is what you should have. So the next thing I'm going to do is to insert my boning to the front panel. And so to start with, I'm going to divide this by 2. What we have is 4 inches. So I'm going to get the midpoint because I'm going to be having a boning channel here. Then I'm going to come up here, divide by 2. So after imputing the boning channel for this one, I'm going to impute another one by this side. So there are different methods of adding boning to your corset. So I'm going to share one particular method with you. Whichever method that works for you, just go ahead and do it. So this is exactly the size of my pattern. So I'm going to cut this boning, leaving like 1/2 inch at the top and 1/2 inch at the downside, total of 1 inch. So I'm going to cut out what I have. So as you can see, I have already ironed out this bias. So I'm going to take this boning to my sewing machine together with this. Then I'm going to open it up and stitch at this side, very close to the midpoint. Then once I'm done with it, I'll let you know. Alright, so after adding the boning to the bias, this is what I have. So you can go ahead and flip it this way. You can see how neat it is. So I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and position it this way and stitch very close to the boning but not on the boning. Then after stitching, I'll try and make sure that I don't have excess fabric, and I'm going to flip it over to this other side. Okay, this is the way it's going to go, so that this sewn part will be inside. So I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and stitch all the way down, very close to the boning but not on the boning. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to trim out the excess fabric I have here, then flip it over to the other side and top stitch on the two sides of the boning. Okay, so that's basically how I'm going to do that, and I'm going to insert boning on all the angles of this pattern. Okay, so I decided to take you through the process of adding the boning to the bias, and this is what it looks like. So I'm going to stitch it all the way down. Alright, so after stitching it, this is what you should have. You can go ahead and flip it. You can see how neat it is. Now I'm going to go ahead and get my pattern. After you must have drafted your channels, you can now go ahead and put it by the side. Then I'm going to run a straight line, like I'm going to stitch down, okay, very close to the boning but not on the boning, so that it will give me room to flip it. Excess, once I trim out the excess, then I'll take it, flip it to the side and top stitch on it, and that's all. I'll do it to all the channels that I've created. Alright, so after inserting your boning, next thing you're going to do is to give it a very nice press, and once you are done with that, get your lining and align. You can go ahead and just top stitch on it. So I went ahead to my sewing machine to stitch both the lining to stitch the lining to the fabric, and this is what we have. So next thing you are going to do is to get your boning and take to your sewing machine. Then you are going to sew following this pattern. Alright, so after attaching your boning to it, this is what it looks like. As you can see, the shape is coming out gradually. So I'm going to trim out the excess, and once that is done, I'm going to cover it up with my bias. Alright, so I got another piece of fabric and I'm going to start stitching from this part. I'm going to stitch it all the way to this other end, and once I'm done with that, I'm going to flip it. I'm going to flip it in order to cover up this boning. Okay, so alright, the next thing we're going to do is to work on this bustier part. So I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and join. Okay, I'm going to join it, then also join the side. Alright, so the next thing we are going to do is to insert our pattern for the bust gauging. So I'm going to start by sketching round this. So this is just to maintain our sweetheart neckline. Alright, so I'm going to get my boning and start fixing on it just like the way I've drawn. This is going to guide me. Alright, so I want to insert my boning to the channels that I've created earlier, and I went ahead to trim off this allowance that is here. You can leave yours or just open it up, but I choose to cut mine out. So I'll start stitching from the vertical lines. So let me do that and get back to you. Alright, so far this is what we've been able to achieve. You can see how neat and curvy it's already forming. So what you need to do is to get your boning and make sure that the curvy part is kind of facing you, so that it will give it this curvy shape. Okay, so and as you're stitching in the machine, make sure to make it curvy, like you insert it inside the machine and make sure to give it this nice shape as you are sewing, so that at the end of the day you won't have something flat. Okay, so after attaching the boning to the lining, this is what I have, as you can see. So I'm going to go ahead to add my boning to this curvy side, and for that I'm going to be using this smaller boning. So this one is, I think it's about 0.07 mm. Okay, this one is quite bigger and it won't give me that effect, though it can, but I'll have to struggle in the process of fixing it. So just like we usually do, to get the curvy part, you have to just draw one string of this out. So this is it. I'm trying to make it very curvy, and as you can see, the string is pulling out. So just try to, push it in to form a very nice curve. Extend the curve. Then once you're comfortable with what you have, you can now take it around the channels you created. You can see I am kind of placing it effortlessly, okay? Can you see how it's curving? But if it is this, I will find it difficult to, place my boning. Like I'm finding it difficult to place my boning. So, but if you can use this one, go ahead and use it. That doesn't mean you won't achieve that same curve. Alright, so after fixing this boning structure, the next one we're going to fix is this upper one. So I'm going to start from here and curve it up the way to this place. Then I'm also going to fix another one from this part to cover up this part. So once I'm done with that, then we're done with boning. We move over to the next step. Alright, so after the caging, this is what we have. You can see it's very curvy and just have the shape of the bustier. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to put fiber on it to give it a bit of flesh. So I've already cut out a piece of fiber. I think the width should be about 1/2 inch. So I'm going to place it on it. But before I place it on it, I'll have to put hemming gum on it so that when I press it, it will be able to stick to this boning. Alright, so here's the hemming gum. I'm first going to place hemming gum on it. So once you're done putting hemming gum, you can go ahead and place your fiber on it. Once you place your fiber on it, then go ahead and iron. Just give it a very nice press so that the fiber can stick to the fabric. Alright, so after pressing it, this is what we have, as you can see. So the next thing I'm going to do is to trim out the excess fiber that we have. So the next thing you're going to do is to get the fabric and face it. This is the right side to right side. Then I'm going to top stitch, stitch at the top. And I'm going to also add hemming gum to the top while sewing. So after sewing, I'm going to turn over to this side. Then give it a very nice press here so that it will relax more. Alright, so after turning it inside out, this is what we have. So you can also go ahead and add more fiber to the corset to give it more volume if you want to. So this is what we have at the end of the day. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to join the two pieces together. So we have the lining and the main fabric for this bustier. So it's either you cut this one out, the lining out, rather this particular one from here, just trim it out from here, or you just secure the both of them by the side to form one piece. So once you're done securing or trimming, whichever one you wish to do, then you take the lining of the back and join. So I'll be leaving mine this way. So I'll take the lining for the back and join. Okay, where's the center, the side back? So this is for the side back. So I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and join this way. So this side is going to the side. I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and join the two pieces together. Okay, I'm going to stitch on the two fabric together in order to form one. Then after joining this, I'm going to join this one. Then the middle back, I'm also going to join the middle back just like the same way I joined this one. Then after that, I will join the center back. So once I'm done doing that, I'll get the line, the main fabric, this one, and do the same thing. So after joining the back piece to the front panel, this is what we have. Then the next thing you're going to do is to add your boning to all the seams. Okay, then once you're done with that, you grab your lining. This is the same way this is the way I added my lining. Okay, so this is the back. You can see how neat the back is. Okay, so I'm going to keep it this way, right side facing right side. Then I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and stitch the two ends. Alright, so I've gone ahead to secure the two ends, and that is what I have here. So the next thing you're going to do is to give it a very nice press, iron it very well, and create another channel for your boning, your plastic boning, and give space for your eyelet. Then once that is done, you can go ahead and pipe the two ends. Okay, and don't forget to insert your boning on this seams, and that's that. Then after that, you go ahead and insert after that, go ahead and tack the bustier to the corset, and that is it. So thank you very much for watching this video. I'm just going to go ahead and complete the rest off camera so that this video will not be too long. So just go ahead and tack, and that's it for these tutorials.